Welcome, comic book fans. Thank you for tuning in, stopping by for another episode of the Comic Book Readers Digest. And today we're going to be talking about a Marvel character named the Destroyer. But, excuse me. But before we do, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. And be sure to hit the like button in case you decide that you like the video. Sorry. Helps out with the algorithm, and it definitely increases my channel, increase my chances for my channel growing. All right. Take a sip of this water. So we have Marvel Destroyer. And from the looks of the cover, you would think that, from what I thought he was like a Skrull version of the Punisher, but that's not the case with him. So Destroyer is basically a guy named Keen Marlowe, who is a superhero who's been around since the Cold War. And believe it or not, he's actually one of the 6 Forgotten Warriors that was part of the Super Soldier Project that made Captain America. Steve Rogers, right? Now, for those that want to know more about the history, you could read his older comics back in the 60s, or you could watch the Spider-Man TV show that came out in '94 called The 6 Forgotten Warriors. There's like at least 5 or 6 parts in that whole series, and they tell you the backstory about the Doomsday Device and all that, and the Red Skull and the history of that. So he was part of all of that was going on. So, and the other soldiers who are not in this comic book, but I'm gonna say their names anyway, that was part of the project that made Captain America. You had the other 5 was Miss America, the Thunderer, the Black Marvel, who also the Black Marvel you could probably see if you watch the show Captain Marvel and Captain America and the Winter Soldier. So you can check that on Disney Plus. Also the Wizard, who is also fast. He moves like the Flash. He's like the Marvel version of the Flash with Quicksilver. He's like Quicksilver 2.0 kind of in a way. So yeah. Basically, and also, speaking of the Spider-Man TV show, even in this, he's also best friends with Ben Parker, who is the uncle of Peter Parker. We all know is, of course, Spider-Man. And at a time, he used to date May Parker, which is Peter Parker's aunt and Ben's wife. So yeah, he has a lot of ties between the Cold War, the Red Skull, and Ben Parker's parents being accused of being spies. Like I said, all that would be explained. I'm kind of sidetracking. All that would be explained in the '94 Spider-Man cartoon. So yeah, back to Destroyer. So basically, what happens is he faced a lot of enemies in his past, but the main enemy that he's finally matched on is him. He turns out he have a bad heart. So basically, he's looking at it now. He has to put his affairs in order. So a lot of he has enemies that knows his identity, and his family would be considered being in jeopardy. So him, with him facing death soon, he sets out on a warpath to kill all his enemies before he basically kicks the bucket. So yeah, this particular book though, the illustration is kind of wonky. It looks a little too cartoony in a sense, but I'm not gonna lie though, there's a lot of blood and gore in this. It was very gory in this book. The story itself, it's pretty creative. Not the kind of It's not a plot that I would be harping on as much, though. I mean, for real, like you a super, you're pretty much like a sub super soldier, and you have a bad heart of all things that happen to you, you know. But I mean, it was innovative. I give it that for a story. You know, it was innovative. Definitely some good action pieces in it. But the illustration threw me off though. That's why I couldn't grasp around the illustration. And then you look at the blood and everything, it just looked gobbly. It was a weird animation. But I mean, it's an okay read. I'm gonna say for me, this would definitely be a one and done for me. Like I read it, you know, it was okay. You know, so that's why I'm gonna give this 2 stars. I'm not, you know, I'm like, you read at your own discretion. You know, I'm not gonna really push anybody to read this. It was okay for what it was. But yeah, that's why I'm gonna give it 2 stars. That pretty much covers the review of Marvel's Destroyer. Again, be sure to hit the like button before you head out, and also subscribe to me if you haven't already subscribed. So once again, thank you for stopping by the Comic Book Readers Digest channel, and keep reading, and I'll see you next time.